the first time, I just want to go over how the platform works. As you can see on the bottom, you have a section that says chat. You can chat, you can make any comments. Just let us know where you're connecting from. Ask a question, you can post your questions there for either of us, and I'll be checking that out later. And basically, for those that are watching us from Hostess with the Mostess on Facebook or savvy.co from Facebook, when I see your comments will be at the end of the live stream. So just go ahead and register. It's free. Join us for a little while and let's chat with Diony and let's find out about the contributions that all these sisters of the leaf, these ladies, are contributing to the cigar world, to the cigar community. And let's start with Diony. Thank you again. Welcome, Diony. And tell us who you are, what is it that you do, share with them, who is Diony Alexa?
Well, I'm actually now doing several things in the cigar industry. I've been smoking for over 25 years. I'm a fourth generation tobacco growers as well. My great-grandmother had tobacco fields in Honduras, born here, but pretty much just traveled back and forth always, to the farms and things like that. Never did I think that 20-something years later I would be back into the industry and stuff. And at this present time, I'm a cigar sommelier, and I'm now have joined Francisco, which is the owner of DBL Cigars, Dominican Big Leaguers, and I'm pretty much helping him out with all the marketing and pretty much a jack of all trades, master of none, how it's called, So it's a great strive throughout these couple of years. It started in 2016 with DBL. And as a summer, it's been over 2 years, and 25 years throughout that time, I really learned how to be a roller. It's my passion, in the industry, and now it's just getting better. Social media does help, and I just love it. Every year, every day, we're learning something new in this industry, and it's great to see that.
I don't know if that could be fixed or not, but just so you know, the connection, it's a little bit off and you're cutting off when you're talking. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or the connect.
Can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. It just gets distorted and cuts off a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You let me know where.
So yes, so that is fascinating. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed a lot in the cigar community when it comes to the women, it's one of those things that most they started with a family or maybe with a husband or whatever the case might be, but they all share something in common. That if somebody would have told them that they were going to be doing what they're doing today within the cigar community, they would have not believed it, or they would have been like, oh yeah, I don't think so. We all share that. There's something that we share in common when it comes to that. And people sometimes have this misconception that just because you started or your family was somehow in the cigar business industry, that it will be a no-brainer that you will follow the lead. Some do and some don't. Some they didn't want to have anything to do with it, and then later, years later, they joined the business. So it varies. You never know. Life takes so many turns. We know today what we don't know about tomorrow. So that's what's so fascinating, at least what I find fascinating from a lot of the sisters of the leaf. And not only in business, per se, within like leading a tobacco brand, but also anything pertaining to it, like my platform, for instance, in creating content and creating events and experiences. I would have never believe in a million years that I was gonna end up almost at 50-year-old pairing cigars and cocktails. I mean,
Right.
but that's how it goes. So I love
Really?
the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally relate because I went to school for import and export international sales. I did textiles for over 15 years. Just, had my usual office job, throughout in New York. And, in my 20s, I started getting, back into the cigars, smoking cigars. And back then, it was a taboo. It was either, it was something spiritual, but you didn't see much women, who were knowledgeable and were able to smoke. I mean, I had an incident where, I was in a baseball field back then in Shea Stadium. You were able to smoke. So, I went with friends and we were smoking cigars, and somebody approached me and said, "Please turn off the cigar." But it was directed at me, but it wasn't directed at the gentleman. So it was like something, like it was a gentleman's jacket moment, and a woman smoking, they just found it a little bit uncomfortable. So it's great to see now, how well respected women are in the industry, because it's something that maybe, in other countries it was respected, but now in the US, to see all these great, like influencers and all these women just, in a classy way, just bringing out the industry. It's great. I never in a million years would have thought that I would have gone back to the roots and started this, but it started like that because of that incident. It just gave me more, I guess, of like an ammunition of some sort, just to get back to see what's going on. I noticed that I couldn't buy places. There wasn't many shops then. You knew a guy that knew a guy to get your cigars back then. And the first shop that I actually visited and I was welcomed so nicely, and I'll never forget, and I still have great relations with that, is Nat Sherman, because I worked in the city. And, they had sommeliers there. They were like, very engaging and everything. But it was always, something in the beginning, that, it was a bit intimidating as a woman, as a smoker who knew her smokes, to be approached by, cigar shops and questioned, as opposed to being greeted. So it's beautiful to see how the industry has changed. And, and now it's more engaging and everything. And I'm a huge supporter of that. And that's actually one of my biggest attributes that I wish to put, in the industry, is that we all women have something to, add to this industry in that sense. From the cigar rollers that are back there, to, the women that are now producing cigars, and, the influencers, and, all the experts, the sommeliers as well. So it's a big breakthrough to see us now in this industry as we are.
Yes, yes, indeed, and
So yeah. Can you hear me?
and I think in a way,
Okay.
the pandemic with the shutdowns and everything, how everyone has gone on virtual, from the distilled spirits to the cigars, but also, like you said, the creators, content influencers, and even businesses itself going on a lot on Instagram and on Facebook and creating content and events. It's growing. It's definitely growing. Oh, she froze. So let's see if she will go back on and fix that connection. So she'll try to log back in. Sorry for the interruption. These things happen, especially when they're live, right? Let's see. There she is.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So I switched a little bit here. The website. So
It happens.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit. Well, actually, you know what? Before we continue talking, let's light up. What do you think?
Sure, sure. Let me grab
Yes.
my cigar. So just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
So while Diony goes and gets her cigar, I'm gonna be lighting up Derrame number 3 right here. There it is. If you guys can see, it's a beautiful, gorgeous stick. Look at that shine, that oil on the wrapper. It is a sun-grown wrapper from San Andres, Mexico, right?
Yes.
And the binder's Ecuadorian.
Okay.
And the fillers are aged Dominican.
You have derrame, right?
Yes, Derrame 3. Yes. So it was highly recommended. So I'm gonna go ahead and light this baby up.
Okay, so I'm gonna light up a Belicoso Amarillo, which is actually
Oh,
our top
yeah,
seller.
this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this one actually is going to be a great pairing with the gin and tonic because it is a Connecticut blend. And, you know, I think gin and tonic is a little lighter drink. So it'll be a nice pairing with that for today.
So I'm doing my cut with the DBL cutter.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to light it up with the DBL lighter. So it's interesting, yes, what you're saying about pairing with the gin and tonic, that you chose that one with the Connecticut blend.
Right.
I tend to lean more towards contrast.
Uh-huh.
I love doing contrast. I find it, again, the word fascinating, because you want to experience a different notes, different nuances that otherwise you will not find on the tobacco itself. So I'm going to light it up first, but then when I'm going to do a straight pairing with the gin itself alone.
Okay.
And then I'll pair it when we're moving into the second with the gin and tonic.
Okay.
So to experience these different sections, right? Now, why, like I was saying, why I like to do contrast. When you have like in this case, a gin and tonic, when you're adding also these fresh fruits and or spices, or in this case, I'm using the peppercorns, you have a blend of botanicals going on, right? And the fruits and those aromas, and find out how it's going to bring up all those other nuances that the tobacco is going to offer you as well. And that's why I find it so fascinating on that end. But it depends on your palate, of course.
Right. Right now you have something where you could even have just a simple a rum of sort. Yeah.
Yes.
You could have a nice drink, neat drink with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it actually goes into the medium
Full.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one is a lighter one, but I think it'll go great pairing with the gin and tonic itself. So we're gonna start lighting it up. And I have this tendency, you know, to take my time lighting up a cigar. As a sommelier, we take our time,
Yes.
you know, lighting up a cigar. So I get a lot of, you know, sometimes called because I take too long, but it is what it is. That's how it usually works, you know?
Well, you have to take your time. You don't want to speed up the process and have all that butane just seep into when you're gonna smoke it. So you want to give it some time. That
Right.
I totally agree.
I like to roast it, and stuff. So it's always, great. Pásalo. Mi hermano. Entonces,
Cheers, darling.
cheers. We just started.
Yes. Oye, qué cosa rica. This is the first puff.
It's a great
Delicious.
smoke. It's a great smoke.
Mm. Actually, there's some sweetness to it. Not extremely, not like that. It's very, it has flavor and it's not common to have on the first puff that type of introduction to a cigar.
And as you go smoking, further in the middle part, then you'll actually taste a different type of flavor palette on there, and it'll be actually a smoother smoke to it.
That's great. Let me just check to see if anyone has posted any questions. Remember, the ones are on the savvy.co platform. You're more than welcome to post any questions that you might have. So don't be shy. Go ahead and ask away so we can get some more info from Diony. All right. And whoever is connecting for whichever country or state, just let us know as well. Wow, this is amazing.
So you got to try our line. Which ones did you best as your palate?
So this is the second one that I'm smoking. Yes, the first one that I smoked was the Amarillo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so I started with that one. As you can see, the slot is empty.
Oh my goodness.
Right there. So that was the first one I smoked. I paired it with coffee. And it was also a great stick. It was really beautiful as well.
Yeah, that's actually also one of our good sellers as well.
Yeah, that's what I was told as well. So I started with that one.
Yeah. This one that I have here, we introduced it in 2019 in the PCA showcase, and since then has been one of the most popular smokes, and we can't have it on the shelves. I mean, it just sells out like crazy. The Bellico, so it's very it's got its raids to it like the Amarillo, but it's just a barbacoa, and it has a different blend of the San Andres.
This is just incredible. It is a really, really nice blend.
They're very smooth blends. Yeah. So yeah. So and in regards to the drink that we're having, is that something that that you find that the pairing is appropriate for?
Well, you know what? I like to, like I said, I like to do a lot of contrast. I don't want to limit. I don't like to limit myself. I like to keep an open mind, an open palate, so to speak, because it is important for what I'm doing to have those experiences. So when I encounter a customer or a friend or whoever it might be, I want to be able to swing any way with the information. If I just go with a safe on the safe, like you said, okay, let's pair with rum. It's gonna go delicious with rum. And let's not talk about coffee or a coffee rum based cocktail as well, and even bourbon and things like that. What I want to find out when I do the pairing with the gin is because of the botanicals.
Huh.
You see, the botanicals and what you add to it, also you can control what is it that you want. So I can go just spices, or I can turn it fruity, I can turn it citrusy. So I can play on that gin and tonic up or down to go with however I want to go with my experience on the stick, or in this case, with the ramen number 3. Um, Whether it's something that I'll go crazy about and I will fall in love with this pairing, I don't know until I try it, and maybe it will be like, oh, it's okay, it's nice, interesting, but it will not be my go-to. So I mean, it's just all about pushing the envelope and trying new things, and not to limit ourselves. So let's see how it goes.
I find that, coffee for me really gives a great palate for me. Sometimes
Mhm.
when I try like new blends and things like that, I don't know what it is, but it has its potency to it that it's just different than an actual liquor. It just, for my palate, you
Uh-huh.
know, as my preference, I like to have that, whether it be from a mild to a medium to a bold smoke. I'll still try a nice sharp coffee and see how that goes. But yeah. So I wanted to give you a little surprise. I had asked, since I'm in the office right now. I'm
Uh-huh.
in at the DBL offices and whatever. So I wanted to
Oh,
give you a little
great.
surprise guest and ask Francisco to join us just for a little bit. He's in
Oh.
between meetings right now, and he's had the opportunity, so I told him that we were doing a live, and the fact that it was Puerto Rico, it really is very endearing to us because we have a lot of clientele and a lot of great smokers that love our brand in Puerto Rico. So to him, it was like, a moment that he could take just a little bit of time and just talk to
Oh.
all of you guys and
That's
just I would love for him to actually express his passion, love, and experience towards his brand. And I couldn't think of a better person to do it. So I'm going to ask him to come and join us.
okay.
And he can definitely, you could go have questions away. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Oh,
Second.
that's awesome.
I'll grab two our drinks so that we can do our gin and tonic.
Okay. Excellent. I'm gonna grab my glass as well.
Okay. There we go. Can you see?
Hi
She's gonna-
guys, how are you?
she's gonna join now.
Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. Uh-oh. They pressed the camera or something. Let's wait for them to reconnect with us. It happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my serving right here. Thank you for standing by and being patient. Sometimes we do not have control over these connections with Wi-Fi. This is a great, great stick. I mean, I was advised to smoke this. And I'm glad I did. So for those that are connected, remember, you can ask away. And as soon as they jump back in, we're going to have Francisco Almonte, who's the owner of DBL. So you can ask him questions as well. So think what is that you might want to ask. Okay, let's bring them back on. There they are.
There we are.
There.
How are you? Nice to meet you, Cynthia. My pleasure.
Hi, same here. Thank you, Francisco.
How is the weather? How's families in Puerto Rico? Is everybody doing fine?
Yes, everybody's doing great. The weather is beautiful, sunny.
Believe it or not, I haven't the opportunity to go that beautiful island, but believe it or not, it's part of our family. I have my uncle-in-law that have been working in the Or San Juan making cigar for more than 35 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so he had been in Puerto Rico for almost 40 years. All of his family have been living there. It's a beautiful island. And I really want to say thank you for all the Puerto Rico community, because believe it or not, after the United States, the bigger community for Latino America is from Puerto Rico that support our company. So I'm very thankful and glad you enjoy our products, and
yeah, thank you.
People is enjoying and supporting our brand everywhere. I go Germany, Texas, Alabama, San Martin. At least one Puerto Rican is right there supporting our events. So I'm very happy. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. And just so who are watching or will be watching afterwards, because this video, the live remains recorded. Do we have information on where in Puerto Rico they could find the DBL lines?
We have one customer, Corey Ray. He has around a few shops in Puerto Rico that you can find our products. But I'm coming up with our rep in Dominican. He's going to be covering Puerto Rico or San Martin and all the island around Dominican Republic. And he's going to begin distributing our products right there. So we're moving right now. Our capability is about 500,000 cigars right now, boutique. We're moving to a new factory next month. So we're going to have a school to teach new rollers. We're going to have more capability to make more production. But our focus is to make 100,000 cigars more this year. So we had customers in Germany already, Africa, exclusively in Congo, Kenya, San Martin. We coming in Norway, Dominican Republic. So we're making 500,000 cigars, small batch production. And this is the way that I want to keep the company, because it's more beautiful. You can control the quality more easy. So I want to keep that way.
Okay, no, definitely. You can keep a closer look on the control and the quality of the product.
Correct. Right. Just to let you know a little bit, in my whole life, I only have one job. It had been since my grandmother. We love cigar. We are the third generation in our family. Only one job. cigars. So at
Wow.
the age of 7, I started with my dad. He got a cigar brand just to serve cigar in the 80 around the country, in the countryside. And now we have our own company, but believe it or not, 68 members in my family know how to make cigars. They have been in the cigar industry for a long time. Since my grandparents, they smoke cigar. One died 99, the other 95. My grandmother 77, and my mom never smoked a cigarette, never smoked a cigar. She passed when she got 46. So I'm gonna keep smoking cigar. It look like you can get more relaxed and put the stress out, and you enjoy the life more and live longer. So this is my
Yes, right.
this is what I
Cheers
love.
to that. Cheers to the
Right,
cigar.
that's right.
Salud.
Salud. Yes, then I worked for Fuente with the Fuente family in 1996, and I spent almost 5 years with them, with Carlos Senior, which is a Carlito father, Sosa, Juanito Sosa, which is a Cuban guy that he makes cigars for. He has some partnership with Fuente family. So after I finished college, I got a good opportunity to work with Afro Dominicana, and I spent almost 10 years working for Lito Gomez and La Flor Dominicana, and we blend a lot of cigar together. It's a really known brand, very popular. But I decided in 2013 to create a Dominican Big League. Why? Because the two bigger things that we do in our country is baseball and cigar.
Uh-huh.
And I have a lot of passion for baseball. So I'm coming from Tamboril. Tamboril is a small town that belongs to Santiago, which is Santiago is the second more important town in the country, state. We have over 157 cigar factories. 80% of the people are related to the cigar industry.
Mhm.
Imagine you had to choose in that town of becoming a good baseball player or being in the cigar industry. So I wasn't good playing baseball, so I had to follow my dad.
Do the cigars.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, Francisco, let me ask you something.
yep.
Since I'm very passionate about giving a platform and space to women and how they're contributing to the cigar world and the industry. What's your take on that? You had Diony right here, great lady,
My
very
wife,
talented.
my wife working with us too.
Yeah.
It's something that is it's just unbelievable. Let me go back to the few years ago when Michael Jordan and Clinton, Bill Clinton, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, they started smoking cigar back in 1996. People begin, young people, women begin smoking cigar, and it was a cigar boom. And it's unbelievable that we had 3 years straight importing from Nicaragua, from Dominican, from Brazil, from Mexico, and other countries, more than 335 million premium cigars. The last time that we got that number was back in the 1997. That was the last amount that we get, over 300 million. So straight 20, 18, 19, and 20 have been over 300 million cigars that the United States have imported. It's unbelievable. And why is that happening is you, women.
Mhm.
Women are smoking more cigars. There is a bunch of women that back in the day they smoke flavored cigar. Today they smoke premium cigar, and it is funny. I was in Maryland for the Super Bowl doing a cigar event, and a lot of women smoking full body cigar. I said, hey, we better be careful. I told to some friend of mine, we better be careful because women is taking control for the cigar business, and women is gonna be the future for this business. Right now, we're getting a boom because women and young people, and it's not just in the United States. There is a bunch of women smoking everywhere. You see in Latin America, Puerto Rico, in Dominican, believe it or not, back in 2000, I was sitting down in a restaurant, and there was a guy next to us that he complained to the manager because we were smoking, and we were in a smoking area, and it was a problem because people hate the smell of the tobacco. I'm talking Dominican, which is a country that make a lot of cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go everywhere, every restaurant, discotheque, you go bars in Santo Domingo, in the capital, that is not a place to in the back to smoke cigar. Now they're smoking a lot of cigar everywhere. It's a fashion. Why? Because we're getting a lot of stress. Every time we get more responsibility, we have more stress. And this is a perfect thing to put the stress out and enjoy the life.
And not only stress reliever, but it also for partners or couples that they can enjoy smoking cigars together.
Right.
That's a great way to have time to converse, share something in common. I mean, it even with friends and family.
Right.
Hobby, a nice
Right.
hobby.
It's a hobby. I have a bunch of people like Diony. Diony loved the cigar industry because of her grandma. She respect that because she never gonna forget that beautiful moment that she has with her grandmother. And I have a bunch of people that smoke a cigar to celebrate something along with her with their family. I have a bunch of people saying, I'm gonna smoke this cigar to remember and honoring my dad, my grandmother. So this is something that you can come through with a lot of memories and nice moments. So cigar, even that you are alone, you can enjoy a cigar because it's a good company. It's something that you can get relaxed. It's something that you enjoy. And even that you smoke a couple of cigars, you don't have any probability to get an accident if you're driving a car because of cigars. So cigar is keep you more aware, it keep you more happy, more relaxed. And we really need something that is natural, something that is made with a lot of people. You don't imagine how many hands is involved to get a cigar done. It's like wine, it's like a nice food. So cigar is a nice experience to celebrate with great people. You know what is the good thing about that? When you go into a cigar lounge, you sit down with people that you don't know, and immediately you have a nice conversation.
You have some kind of bond.
Exactly. So you immediately get involved with a conversation, even that you are the CEO of a big company, and I'm working on construction, making $10 per hour. We are the same in the lounge. So this is beautiful. This is a beautiful business. I don't know if there is another business in this world like this, but I really enjoy the cigar business, and I would like to keep doing this for life. And if there is another world, I would like to keep doing what I'm doing to make some cigar for you guys.
Yes. Thank you.
The reason why I joined DBL and when I got the offer to be, be part of DBL was actually just the commitment and the passion that he has. He really sells the cigar itself, the fact that he has a mentorship towards it, and he's my biggest mentor. I had the marketing skills, but he had the passion to sell the product. And what's nice about now with women is that we get to be so knowledgeable about everything, and we have that, now in the industry, that respect level where we are able to be sommeliers, to be, educated on that. you know, and as a community, as us women, also just the fact that, you know, we get to meet one another, do social events, you know, we have great influencers that really take the time to, you know, give us knowledge, to get us together, and just to, like, you know, bring out the product and just sell it, you know, in that sense. And that's what's great about, you know, these cigar makers, that they have that support system that we women have just brought, like, this sophistication back to it, you know.
And not just only that. In our company, women's have better finish of the cigars. You can get better quality because they have more details to finish any product by hand. So in our company, we have a bunch of women working in different process, sorting, classification in the packaging area as a cigar rollers, because women can do a better job. And you don't have the problem that sometimes we have. It's on Monday and Friday. On Monday, they drink a lot on weekend, so you have to be very careful with the production on Monday, because you have to come back to the routine, and they drink a lot on weekend. But women, I'm very happy with the community that is growing, and I can say, hey, listen, you are the reason that this industry is changing, and I'm really happy with that. And I'm very impressed with what's happening with women, and we're gonna keep supporting women's, because I think it's the opportunity to grow more and more, and to expand in different places in country. So I think women's are doing a great job, and that community is growing very fast.
Great. Thank you so much for that, for giving us that insight, because these are topics that are not being discussed as much as they should, but people are starting to take notice. That is correct. And I wouldn't want to say that women are going to take over, but more than anything, join forces. Brothers of the leaf, sisters of the leaf, all in one. We all share the same passion. It's just, if we are together and put all our knowledge and what our talents are, then it makes the community and the business even bigger and stronger. Definitely. To be all inclusive. And my platform, when I'm interviewing mujeres, that's why it's called Mujeres y Humos, it's not meant to discard or put aside men. It's just to elevate and bring out and to bring knowledge to everyone what our women are doing and contributing to the industry. So I'm so happy that you join us here and taking the time to talk, and so everybody can hear it from you how important this contribution is right now in the industry, not only for DBL but as a whole. So I thank you so much for sharing that.
We have a thank you for bringing me the opportunity. We have the grand opening of our new factory next year on 22 March, first week of March, and I would like to invite you to go to our grand opening, which is a tour. We already got 7 tours to Dominican, but this is the way that we do. We want to show the country. We want to show our culture. We want to show the folklore, our music, our food. So we used to have 4 days every year. We don't gonna do this year, but we're gonna celebrate together on March, the grand opening of our company, and we're gonna visit the tobacco field, the box factory. We used to go to Puerto Plata to visit the beach, to visit the #1 Dominican rum, which is Brugar, and then we visit a chocolate factory. So what I used to give to the people is our culture, not just cigars, experience, everything, because most of the time you go to a resort, you don't enjoy all what we have. It's not the same when you go to the countryside than going to to a resort. So usually we used to grow the tobacco on October, and before Easter, we got tobacco on the field. So that's why we used to make the tour on March. And I would like that you go with us and enjoy that experience. And we're gonna have a great moment on March. It's gonna be first week of March. We're gonna keep in touch and send all the information to you. And you're more than welcome to celebrate and dance on merengue
Of
and
course, merengue, bachata.
bachata
It's not all business. It's not all business.
with a nice sancocho, which is a soup with
Uy,
different peppermint,
sancocho y mangú.
some mango. All right. So you're more than welcome. Thank you for bringing
Thank
the
you.
opportunity to share with you a little moment and the rest of the people. Thank you for supporting our company. And one day I promise to you to make a seminar online about rolling cigar and blending, and maybe we can prepare that moment to do something special for you. And I'm really happy and very glad that you invite me. And I hope the best for you, the rest of the family, and the rest of the people. I would like to say, stay safe. We're gonna be together soon, and hopefully the pandemic going as soon as possible. We're ready to get together. We're gonna celebrate and thanks God for living the life in a good way. Thank you for supporting. Women's community is getting up to this beautiful and stronger to this beautiful industry, and I'm very happy. I hope the best for you guys, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Francisco. Gracias, gracias de verdad, de corazón. Gracias.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad that he got to actually give us a little forum.
Yes, that was amazing.
It's so nice, for a cigar maker to just you guys know how much they appreciate you, and they appreciate the fact that us women are now in the industry and everything else, and it's not like that that hearsay, and it's nice and well respected now. So
Yeah.
So I have my gin and tonic here.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna make mine because I was so focused on what he was saying. Okay. So
I used Hendrix. I used the Hendrix. That was delicious. And I have just regular tonic. And then I put the little bit of cucumber and orange peel that you suggested.
Yes. So I did here's like a 2 ounce, 2 ounce and a half of gin here. I'm using Zephyr gin. This is not available in all states, but in the state of Texas and Oklahoma, it's here, Zephyr gin. And I'm gonna put in some berries.
Oh, nice.
Berries, yes. And 2 slices of cucumber. And 2 slices of kiwi.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a little bit of the mixed peppercorns in there. There it is. And now my tonic. It's all very cold. There you go. Salud, Diony.
Hey, salud. Salud, dinero y amor.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is so delish. This goes great with this Perry. So refreshing.
Refreshing. It's soft.
It's soft.
And it has a little bit of the, like in mine, I did the peppercorn. And I'm going to let it sit for a little bit so the cucumber, the kiwi, it starts to sip into the gin and tonic a little bit. It's starting to change colors a little bit there.
Right.
It's not going to go over the cigar, and the cigar is not going to overpower the gin and tonic.
Exactly. Yeah. You could have one or two of those drinks and it'll be just a nice pairing to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Diony, tell us about your current certification. You just turned as a cigar sommelier. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. You know what? Actually, it's been over. I think it's going to be about 2 years. But you know, I guess they pick certain people from the alumni throughout the time frames. I got to tell you,
okay, and they just
it's very near and dear to me. I am a very avid believer, and I support them highly. I think it's actually a great corporation that is just doing great things for the cigar industry. It gives you an overall perspective, of the industry. It doesn't like have any difference or anything that any certain brand. It just gives you a nice history, a background, a beginning backbone. And if you want to be knowledgeable, if you like the industry and you want to know a lot about more of it, and pretty much just know the history of it and how it's grown and everything, it's a great course. It's a great, and I am so proud to be part of that alumni. I had a great time. I had a couple of other influencers that joined that are near and dear friends of mine as well now, and we just had such a great time also experiencing also people that were, cigar shop owners. We had also growers. It was just, the fact that they just go into detail on the handcrafted art that we have in front of us. I mean, there's so much detail to it. And it's not just about lighting and puffing it. It just gives such a overall perspective of it. And it just gives you more of, I guess, enrichment towards, what you're smoking. And it also is, great for you to know that as an, knowledgeable of what you're smoking. And how it all started. So to me, being part of that alumni, Miguel is phenomenal. It was a great experience, and I hope to further it. Because there's never a time where you just stop learning from this industry. So that's what's great about it. Have you considered it? Have you thought about it?
Yes, it is on my list. I'm hoping to separate a space and time this year so I can do it. Right now, I have scheduled several cigar pairing events coming up here in Puerto Rico in February, in March in PA, and April in Miami, Florida, and in May I'm going to Houston for the Houston Cigar Week. So let's see if I can separate the summer or maybe August to do that. But I definitely want to do it. During the beginning of the pandemic last year, I was not working. I was home. A lot of us were in that situation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Pinard Ricard, one of the biggest distributors, right, of the distilled spirit world, offered to go online and get your certification for free.
Wow.
So I took that time to do it. So I have my bar mixology certification, which is a great accomplishment. And but it's not only about that, like you said, it broadens knowledge, understanding, and it puts to the test what is that you have learned so far.
Absolutely.
And where you're at, and then like, oh wow, I didn't know this. And so it's twofold. Put to the test what you've known, and what you don't, you're gonna study it and gain more knowledge.
Yeah,
your vision.
I had the experience of having two great influencers with me in the class that they've taken that and they've actually gone, further with that, and they've actually built a platform. Cigar Lover 12 is phenomenal. She just every week shows us something knowledgeable, you know, in her stories and things like that. And it's all, you know, pertaining to her knowledge and also
Mhm.
somewhere. I have Chase Fire as well. She just now has like her online where she does like monthly, you know, selection, and you can sign up and everything. And it's great to see them just go even further with the, you know, the knowledge that's brought into, you know, this. I love it. I'm a, yeah, I'm a huge fan. You know, every time somebody tells me, I have had some of our cigar shop owners have thought about it too. And I thought that was a great thing, because what better way to know your knowledge of your products, you know, and how to sell it. It's a great selling point, and it's also great knowledge, you know, that you know, you get to experience, you know. So and the fact is, you also experience the community of the cigar industry, because, you know, every time you have a class, you're going to have all types of people that are either you know, just cigar aficionados or in the industry or owners. So, you know, you get to network at the same time, and, you know, you end up having great friends, you know. And that's what's nice about this industry, is the fact that you network so well, and you actually end up getting great friendships and relationships with that, you know. I loved your platform where you guys were all around the world, the women, you
Yes.
know, when you, oh my God, that was phenomenal to see so many women from so many different countries. I mean, those type of platforms we definitely need to see more of, because it's just great to see all that. I mean, I guess I'm a huge fan about something like that. You know, to me, the more people that I can touch, the more people that I can help or serve is just, that's my purpose, you know, because
Mhm.
I love what I do. It's so different when you love what you do and you have that passion for it. You know, it's not a job anymore. You know,
That
it's
is
just,
true.
you know, yeah, it's just a contentment. And I have that, you know, like when we visit the tour, like IPCPR, well now PCA, and you know, the shows, it's like, you know, it's like coming home and just seeing everybody, and, you know, just associating with everybody, seeing how everybody's doing. And it's just a fun time, you know, at the same time we're selling our products, you know. So
Mhm.
that's what's great about this community. So I think you should definitely try it and see.
Yes, I that's definitely on my list that I wanna uh, complete. I wanna do that, definitely. And yes, on the same topic, I'm coming from the distilled spirit industry. That's where I started with my platform, Hostess with the Mostest, and going to cocktail events, cocktail competitions, even served as a judge in several cocktail competitions, did TV cocktail segments, and so forth. And being able, it's like it came full circle to be
Right.
able to bring these two things together that I love so much. Because the cigar, I just did it once in a blue moon. It was something that was private for me. Not even my parents knew that I was smoking cigar until the other day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was something. It's not that I was hiding. It was just something that was for me. I just
Yeah.
had a few sticks, and when I wanted, I just sat on the balcony, drank some port wine and my cigar, and that was it. I didn't really look into what was the binder, the wrapper, the filler, the brand, Robusto,
Right.
what type of vitola, if it was a toro. I did not pay attention to none of that. It was just a moment for me to relax and enjoy in my thoughts. It was a me time, but I never tied both things together. And so last summer, when I came back to Puerto Rico, and we have a Casa Monte Cristo here in Puerto Rico, and I found heaven.
Yeah.
Great crafted cocktails, great cigar selection, all in one place. I
We get
mean,
to dress up and look pretty.
and that it was done. It was done. I was like, finally, I have arrived.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. And the great conversation, you know, the great, and you get to try different things too, like the cocktail pairings with the cigars. I mean,
Yes.
it's endless. I always find myself too, like being, I want to do a wine connoisseur, like I want to do that. Like I love wine, but I never knew there was just such an array, different palettes, goes different with my smokes and stuff like that. It's just, I guess it's an endless way of just learning a whole bunch of things, really.
And the same way that in the cigar industry, it's forging with great new blends. It's breaking away from the traditional blends of maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Mhm.
The same thing is happening, or it has been happening with the spirit, the distilled spirit. I mean, you can now enjoy a mezcal gin. Mezcal with botanicals, and it's called a mezcal gin, which is amazing. It's so beautiful. It's great. And then you have other countries like Argentina is doing their own gin as well, and you have India doing their gins with their own spices and whatnot. So the when it comes to pairing, the options are endless. I can smoke this derrame number 3 10 times and pair it 10 different ways. And the
Correct.
experience will be different every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's something that
it's everybody's different palate. It really is, I mean, and that's what's great thing about the cigars as well. Like cigars, it's like, it's everybody's difference. You agree to disagree in that sense, it's a different smokes for different people. I have my personal favorites, not just DBL. One of my personal favorites that you like to is Protocol.
Oh, Protocol.
Yeah.
Hey, a nice plug-in for a Protocol, people. Kevin Tyson, Juan Cancel.
Juan is one of the guys that I first, met once I started getting myself so involved in the industry. And I love his brand. It's just one of my favorites. I always smoke it. So I have the gold, what's it, Temis? I think it is.
Temis. Yes.
Temis. And that's one of my personal favorites, and stuff. But, I have a couple of selections that I have that, they serve my palate. I could smoke it at any time in the morning, in the night, and it's just great, So it's to each his own, and it's nice that, we get to conversate about it, and we get to there's no illness to it. That's what's great about this type of industry, and stuff, is that we get to complement one another in that sense.
Yeah. And support each other.
And even with the, with the pairings too. The fact that I get to know so many whiskey lovers and, beer distributors and, it's just great to see this whole community just spread in so many ways, so it's endless. I tell you, every day is something. Every day, I just enjoy it. I have fun with it. And, my Francisco's like my mentor too. And he's like, family to me. So, I learn every day, we learn every single day, and that's my best suggestion. If you want to get into the industry, if you want to, be part of it and just get just get into the knowledge, take everything with a grain of salt. I walk away from negativity. I only go in towards something that's positive. That's, my trades and stuff. And, I just really am a huge supporter and try to serve anyone that, in the industry that needs it. That's really the best way to it.
Well, let me tell you, I've received my share of special deliveries since I started with the Mujeres y Humos platform from the beginning. And it was shocking because in my mind, I was like, but I just started, I don't have enough followers and they're just giving me all this stuff. But it wasn't about that. It's that they saw the commitment, the passion that I have for it. Because when we had the opportunity to talk, to conversate and everything, you can pick that up. like, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's your commitment to what you're doing, to walk the talk, to show good the purpose that you have to elevate the industry, right? So like you said, I mean, you had to walk away from negativity because that's always going to be there, and be surrounded with people that are positive, that supports you, that encourages you to do better, to do more. But not only more in the sense of quantity, but more in quality. So I found that immediately in the cigar community. I love the still spirit industry. That's my first love, but it's completely different. It's a whole different dynamic. And I was really impressed, to say the least. Everywhere that I've been welcomed with open arms. It's just nobody holds back from sharing any knowledge, information, anything. So
I think right now, you know, what you guys are doing, what you're doing, you know, when you asked me to do it, I didn't even hesitate because this is our platform right now. We can't associate. We really can't socialize. We can't visit one another. We can't do, you know, the groups and everything. Social media is really where it's at right now. And, you know, I'm a huge lover of our influencers. All of them in that sense because of that, because they're the ones that kept us going. You know, they're the ones that kept us going through this epidemic. You know, just to have that, you know, platform to have them share their pairings, their cigars, you know, their daily situations, or, you know, their knowledge of things or what they found new, and you doing groups like that. And I had no idea there were so many women around the world. You know, I am such a believer about this social media right now. And I think we should have even more, you know, in-depth meetings and things like that. You know, I haven't had the opportunity to meet a lot of the women that you introduced in that platform, but it's my goal. You know, it's going to be on my bucket list to meet all these wonderful women, like, and just be that support system, you know, with that, because the bigger we get, the, you know, the greater it is, you know, so. I think social media right now should be very well respected, very well appreciated, because it is our only platform that we can actually unite, you know, at this point, because of all that's happening. So it's great to see, you know, all these great groups that you're doing are a really great help to us. It really is, because that's the only way we can reach you, you know, and still keep our brand going, and you know, also sharing with you guys as to what we're doing, you know, at this time, you know, since we can't, you know, be in all those shows and things like that and get to see all our customers. That's the problem right now, is that we can't socialize, you know, we can't venture out.
But like you said, with these platforms help us to continue and connect around the world with so many. And I've been very fortunate to did what I did in the moment that I did it, and how quickly I was able to connect with so many sisters of the leaf and also brothers of the leaf. So the experience has been very, very enlightening and beautiful. And with that, also being able to be a contributor for the Latino Aficionado magazine, I would have never also imagined that I would have been given that opportunity, which is it's an honor, first of all, and something that I take really seriously, because there's all Latin communities are reading that article. You know, you're not just going to write anything, and it's an opportunity to also feature, you know, boutique cigars, and those features. So I'm happy that I'm able to do that for others, that I have the means to do that, and so that's another way that we can contribute. And the other thing is, There's things that you do that you can get paid for, and there are so many other things that we do not get paid for. And I do a lot of things that I don't get paid for, but I do it because I believe in it. I love it. And everything else will follow.
Yeah.
Everything else will follow.
I believe in the pay it forward system, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm just very serving, I give and whatever. And I know in some way or another, it's just going to come back to me folded, double or triple in another way. But like I said, you know, it all depends if you like what you do. And that's really the key. This is not a job for me. This has been this is beyond the job, you know, and stuff. I'm a jack of all trades. You know, sometimes it's not that fancy. Sometimes we're trying to fill orders. Sometimes we're just trying to, you know, help one of our workers, you know, with her family. It's just an array of things. But when you love what you do, it just shows, you know, and that's what's great about that community that I hope that in the cigar industry later on, we put some kind of merit to social media, you know, maybe some kind of award system, because I think our influencers, I think our groups, you know, all those people that provide this information with our products should be recognized for it. That's something that I hoped in the future, you know, the cigar industry sees more of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's time consuming. It's it costs, you know, it's personal cost. And, you know, there's a lot of work to it. You know, I'm a marketer for DBL, but I cannot even imagine being just the influencer. It's just daily. It's not, you know, one perfect picture. It takes you like 30 pictures to the one, you know, and things like that. So, you know, I wish I would have the time to do all those things and stuff, but you know, it goes with the territory kind of moment. But you know, I really have this great respect for all you guys that you really take time for that, you know.
Thank you so much. And and share with us, if you may, also as a woman in the industry, how do you balance family life?
Well, what's great about it, my kids are older now. I have a 21-year-old and a 14-year-old that's about to turn 14. And in the beginning, I wasn't going to do that. You know, this was actually just a little bit of like a side job hobby in the beginning. And with this epidemic, it just, you know, just went over. Now it's more of a career. And I also have, you know, my office job as well. So it's been challenging, but this is my happy place. So to me, you know, office is office, 9 to 5, but this is my happy place. So I don't have that, you know, I guess that tug and war. I just make it work, you know. And then what's great about this now, I never thought I would do this, but I'm actually introducing my children into the business. You know, I have a 21-year-old and they're in charge of all my, you know, working with me with the media and things like that, because I'm not that technical savvy and whatever. And I wanted them to see, you know, like they see the product, they see me when I roll, and just to appreciate, first of all, the dollar, where the dollar comes from, you know, that old school mentality. And secondly, you just never know. I just want them to have that experience because I don't know how far I'm going to go, but I'm hoping for the best. And I'm hoping that they also venture on their own and see what the value is. And maybe they might, you know, actually take advantage of this situation and see how that goes. That's something that, you know, DBL has taught me, because it is a family owned business. You know, he's right side by side with his wife. I work with his wife, Nancy, and, you know, we work together, you know, and then we also have his brother who has a shop here in New Jersey, and we also work together. He's in Red Bank. He has a great selection of smokes, and it's called Don Francisco's in Red Bank. And he also has a shop there, you know, like, so it's a family oriented type of business. So I wish to keep it that way. And I incorporate my children in it. So it doesn't look like a tug of war for me, because it is, you know, we women, we can multitask. So that's all I can say, you know, multitasking at its best, you know.
We have no other choice. If we want to make things happen, that's what we have to do. We have to multitask.
Yeah, so that's what I try now. With this epidemic, I've been fortunate enough to be more in the office here at DBL, but usually we would travel more, a lot more. So I get to spend a lot more time now with the kids and things like that. But sooner or later, we're gonna hopefully, go back to our
The
routine.
message here is, yes, we can strive to have it all.
Yes.
It doesn't come. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it can be done. It can be done.
But the key to everything is you gotta love what you do.
Yes.
You really have to love what you do, because you will only. I feel as if you will only penetrate. If it's not for you, you will only end up with people that will give you that type of energy and that type of negativity. But if you love what you do, it just shows, and then everything will be embraced, and the people that you will meet will embrace that for you. So it just makes more sense that way, I always tell everybody, like whatever it is that's for you and you love what you do, you're going to make it. It's going to work out. It's all going to fold.
Well, I thank you so much, Diony, for accepting my invitation, for spending this time with me and with all of us, and to have given us the opportunity to talk also with Francisco. And I got an invite. Oh my gosh.
You did.
That's
You're going to have a
something
good
to
time.
look forward to 2022. That's
Listen,
amazing.
the tours are legendary, so you're going to have a great time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have known, right?
Yeah.
That was such a treat.
So I'm so excited that we get to see you in person at one point or another when we open. And
well, maybe sooner. You never know. One of my trips.
Oh, yes, hopefully. Let's see. Yes. We're praying for the best on that and whatever. But, just knowing that we're live in Puerto Rico, I'm so grateful for that. And like, Francisco said, we have such great, smokers there and a lot of fans that we, greatly appreciate. And, I thank you for the time, Cynthia. And
just let me know when you decide to come to Puerto Rico. I'll host you. I'll show you around. It will be my pleasure too.
Oh, that's awesome. I've done Aguadilla, Bayamón, San Juan. So,
And we have Airbnbs. My family, we have apartments listed on Airbnb. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm the one that pays those hotel prices.
Well, hey.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's
all
awesome.
right. Well, thank you again, Diony. I was just checking, but I don't see any questions over here on the platform, but I'm sure I'm going to see some comments and questions later on Facebook. And if there's any pertaining to you directly, I'll forward them to you so they can be answered. But again, I thank you so much for spending this time with us and sharing your story and your background and the future, what comes ahead. And yes, hope to see you very, very soon. And thank you.
Cheers, my dear.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Salud.
Salud, dinero y amor.
Sí, claro que sí.